Hey there, YouTube. It's been a while since I did a video, and I've been really busy with school. I did not take any dietetics courses this semester, and I am trying to finish a short-term certificate in exercise physiology, and so I took a lot of additional classes as a result. So I have not been making videos for YouTube, has not been high on my priority list lately. But I wanted to make a video this morning because this has been on my mind lately, but it is the connection between proteins and cancer. And I'm not sharing any new research. I'm not a researcher, I don't do clinical research. But actually, on that note, I actually am participating, or I took fitness assessments on people this week that are doing research. It's through both Miami University and the University of Cincinnati, and both of those schools are in Ohio, and it was really interesting. But back to the protein thing, I'm just clarifying some research that finds its way commonly used in the vegan community and people that support vegan diets. And that is primarily what we've seen in the China study. And I've seen both of these seem to be largely dominant thoughts on raw vegan, particularly high carbohydrate, low fat vegan, raw vegan diet advocates. And some of the ones were on 30bananasaday.com. Not that this is a belief of 30bananasaday.com, but some of the forum members were going on about this. And that is the idea that plant proteins beyond the number of 10% of your diet will promote cancer in your body. And I say plant proteins because they are speaking to people that are entirely raw vegans or vegans, and they are telling them if you go beyond 10% of your diet you will get cancer. And then they say, I've done the research on that. I'm just telling you, my own research and what I found. And I'm wondering where this research come from, because I spend, well, up until this semester, I spend large portions of my day looking over research tying nutrients to things like cancer, and I'm not familiar with any research that ties plant proteins to cancer. The dominant studies that we've seen that do connect cancer to proteins have been compiled in the book The China Study by T. Colin Campbell of Cornell University. And what you see in there, I'm going to put some reference numbers to pages in the book The China Study that you can reference. But he does specifically talk about that notion that going beyond 10% of your diet in plant proteins will cause cancer. And when he talks about 10% being the magic number that turns on and turns off cancer, he is in the book. This is not me. I'm not interpreting what he says. This is what he says. This is what T. Colin Campbell writes in the book, The China Study. And on the screen, I will put some page numbers for you to reference in your own copy. And that is that, one, going beyond 10% of your diet in animal proteins specifically promote the growth of cancer. But then, he talks about the growth of cancer, does plant proteins promote the same thing? And in big, bold, black, capital letters, he says no and puts an exclamation point afterwards. Those studies that he talked about with proteins referencing cancer were largely done on rats, and they use specifically animal proteins. I believe they use casein proteins to determine what they did. Going down to 5% of the diet in protein, they turned off cancer with the rats. Going up to 20% of the diet, they turned on cancer, was the big driving idea that they found there. But this idea of the people, on YouTube that I've seen in my own videos, people that talk about proteins, and people that I see on the forums like 30Bad, they're saying that plant proteins promote the cancer growths, and that just, if they're coming up with some research, it is not research that nearly any of us have access to. I have access over to over 7,000 medical journals through the Springer publication, Springer Medical Publication Journal, whatever they are, company, the Springer Publication Company. And when I type into my database through my school and look for the relationship between plant proteins and cancer, I cannot find any that specifically tie any forms of cancer to protein. Now, when I do that, I do get up the information from the China study. I do get information from a lot of different sources that are referencing T. Colin Campbell, the Indian study that he references in the book, the China study, but I do not get these other references. So people that are accusing, like Carl S., that was one I saw on his page that I was amused by. But when people talk about Carl S., he's getting 20% of his calories from proteins, you're going to get cancer. That's foolish. You might get an extra inch on your bicep. Is it worth it to get all that cancer? That's foolishness. And as with every time I see anything like that, nobody ever references a study. Nobody ever says, oh, well, I saw the research from so-and-so. I saw, this. No, you don't ever see that. Because I don't know if people just, they want to make themselves sound more intelligent, so they try to, I don't know. I don't know. I don't, stroke their own ego. Those are the things that come to mind when I think of it, but I just wanted to bring that out. So in light of that, when I get home today, I'm going to do another video that I'll be posting here in the near future, and I'm going to show you how I make my raw vegan pre-workout or post-workout protein shake. And it is just using mostly kale, and kale tastes pretty nasty for most of us, so I'm going to show you how I do it in a way that makes it a little more sweet and nice to eat. So until my next video, and hopefully I'll be doing some a little more often. Fortunately, I did one today on the road, but I will be talking to you guys soon.